What's up, YouTube? The Overly Critical Critic back for another discussion video. Today we're going to be talking about a topic that I've seen a little bit of stuff in the news, and I just wanted to give some of my thoughts and opinions in it. And today we're going to talk about Hillary Clinton's campaign to humanize herself. So today, what really made me think about this is that the blog, the photography blog, Humans of New York, aka Honey, is doing a little mini-series on Hillary Clinton, about her trials and tribulations of going through law school as a woman in the 60s and 70s, yada, 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 And I'm just going to make a quick point that usually the photographer, Brandon Stanton, usually gives like a heads up on when he does some of these specialized stories. Like he gives us a heads up when he does the military. He gave us a heads up when he went overseas to, I think, the Middle East and places in Northern Africa, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. But this just kind of seemed out of the blue. It was a little weird to me personally when you get this high-ranking official and you don't really get any sort of heads up beforehand. Something that he's usually been really good with. But regardless, we get some of Stanton's really good storytelling. I mean, it's really just a elongated quote from whoever the focus of the picture is, but regardless, Stan usually does a really good job of really humanizing the photo, and it's just Hillary Clinton in a chair in this office type setting, and she looks professional. She's talking about how in law school it was tough to be a woman, and there were men in there that says if they don't make it to law school or whatever, or graduate law school, that they're getting drafted to Vietnam, and there was a lot of pressure and blah blah blah. And it just seems like in these recent months, Hillary Clinton has been doing a big job, or has been trying to do a big job of really humanizing herself to the public. A lot of the public doesn't trust her, and I'm going to be going over a few statistics that I found on the Washington Post. They did an article, and a lot of the public just doesn't trust her. They don't find her trustworthy, and I can completely understand why. She had that huge email scandal that the FBI didn't even investigate. They kind of just threw it under the radar. And yeah, maybe possibly Donald Trump may be getting investigated by, whoever. And so I completely understand the public not trusting Hillary Clinton. Because to be honest with you, I don't trust Hillary Clinton. I just don't really like Donald Trump. So that's why I think Hillary Clinton would be just a better presidential candidate for many reasons. Most of them regarding the fact that she plays traditional politics and that she'll be running the country relatively the same as Obama. I don't really see her digging the country a new hole or whatever. I can put my glasses on. But aside from that, aside from those opinions, we'll dive deeper into those as election day comes closer. But we're gonna talk about Hillary Clinton. So recently, she's been on news shows and she's been saying, I'm really sorry about my email scandal, blah blah blah. And today she's like, it was really hard as a woman to go through law school. Well, Hillary, while that may be true, and while I do appreciate that you're speaking to women everywhere, I think that's really good. You're using your platform. On the same hand, it's a little too late for you to humanize yourself in the midst of this political election. Maybe, now this is just a personal opinion, maybe if she went while she was campaigning against Bernie Sanders for the nomination, then it would have sounded a little bit more genuine. But now it just seems like she sees that her favorability rankings are going down, and that in an attempt to gain the public's trust, again, she's going on these shows and she's doing these things. And to me, it just seems like a really half-assed effort. I'm gonna be pretty frank. Like, I don't really trust Hillary Clinton. I just think like she's just trying too hard, and that she should really just focus on the campaign ahead. Because saying that you're really sorry about the email scandal on national television, and you're just like, I'm sorry, it'll never happen again, it's really just bullshit. If we're being serious here, it's bullshit. Because you could have said that at any time. You knew what you did was wrong. You could have stopped it, but instead you kept going with it. So clearly you're really not that sorry about it. And especially amidst, the DNC scandal. I don't know if she had any, what's it called? if she happened to be involved in that. I highly doubt it, because that would really destroy her campaign. But I don't really know about Hillary Clinton. I really don't like these attempts. I think that she just much rather just focus on the campaign, focus on defeating Donald Trump. That's what you should do, because the American public is not going to find you any favorable. What they're going to find favorable is if you take office and you make steps to make this a better country. That's when you're going to get your favorability rankings back. But right now, you need to focus on what's at hand, and that's the election. That's Donald Trump. But let's go into some statistics from the Washington Post, and these are from an article from August 31st, so they're pretty recent. I was really looking for some numbers, and I really couldn't find it in the Google search. So we're going to go and we're going to go through all of them, and we're going to also compare them to Donald Trump's. Some of them, she's pretty on par with Donald Trump, which is not good, but we'll go from that. So Hillary Clinton's image in the percentage of Americans with favorable and unfavorable views of Hillary Clinton. 41% of Americans are favorable of Hillary Clinton or find her a favorable candidate, and then the other 56% are unfavorable, and there's 35% and 63% for Donald Trump respectively of the same thing. Now, Clinton's image among registered voters: favorable 38%, unfavorable 59%, and the unfavorable is rising and the favorable is lowering. So I know that she's been doing she's had some remarks about Donald Trump that some people didn't find trustworthy. I'm guessing some of her antics are just going, she's just fully just getting the political disdain just thrown at her. Donald Trump is actually 60% unfavorable and 37% favorable, so they're pretty much on par when it comes to that, in terms of registered voters. And now we're going to go into some of the lowering statistics. So her favorable rating on women dropped from 54% to just 45%, which is pretty bad, because she's really, you think that as the first woman presidential candidate that women would really support Hillary Clinton, but it seems like it's becoming the opposite amidst some of her scandals and some of her antics that she's been doing. And then Hispanics has gone down from 71% to 55%, which is really bad, especially regarding some of Donald Trump's remarks about the wall that he thinks that Mexico is going to pay for. You think that they would side with Hillary Clinton, or at least enjoy her policies, because she's not going that extreme, and I guess that's also wrong to think of. And then this is the most interesting one. Liberals went from 76% to 63%, which is really bad. I mean, even with Bernie Sanders trying to endorse Hillary Clinton, which I'm going to say this to all you Bernie Sanders lovers out there, he had to do it. He had to endorse Hillary Clinton. Yes, you can make the argument. You could have said, no, overly critical critic, he didn't have to do that. He could have stayed true to his fans. No, he couldn't have. They're both trying to beat Donald Trump. They don't like Donald Trump. The DNC the Democratic Party doesn't like Donald Trump. He had to do it. Bernie Sanders had a big following. It was one of the bigger followings, and in order for them to come together and beat Donald Trump, he had to endorse Hillary Clinton. So for those of you that are really mad at Bernie Sanders, don't be that mad, because he had to do it. Yeah, it's a little shaky, and I disagree. I didn't really want to see Bernie Sanders do it, but he had to, and I understand why. So those are just my thoughts on Hillary Clinton's attempts at humanizing herself recently. Leave a like and a comment down in the discussion area, or the comment section rather, so we can kind of discuss the topic at hand. I know it was a little shaky today, but I just wanted to get some of these thoughts off my mind, and I will see you guys tomorrow with another video, probably about something in the news. So I'll catch you guys then. Take care.